Okay, hello everybody. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith here in the First Alert Streaming Center. We were unable to do a streaming show yesterday because they were doing technical upgrades and they had to power down everything, power it back up, and so in the interim just wasn't able to go live. So anyways, we're back on schedule today. Since we have so many newscasts, the longest time without a newscast is on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it's a great time for them to do those kinds of upgrades. So that's what they were doing yesterday. Anyways, everything went well. And so we're back on schedule, as I mentioned. Of course, we are going to talk about our local forecast here as we look ahead to the work week. We're also going to talk about the tropics. There are actually 2 named storms there in the tropics right now. Actually, let me pull up that information off camera as well. Okay, so Nadine is officially remnants of Nadine. So when I show you that, so we do have Nadine technically and Oscar. Oscar is still a hurricane, or at least it should still be a hurricane. Where are its sustained winds? Yes, so it is a Category 1 hurricane. So we have a couple of things to talk about there in the tropics. And then again, as I mentioned, looking ahead to the forecast. But we don't want to wish the weekend away. There's still a lot left of your Sunday. Perhaps you're going to be outside. Perhaps you're going to be maybe you're in Cleveland. Maybe you're on your way to Cleveland. You're watching this in the car. That'd be cool. Yes, so maybe you're taking your tailgate party outside. It's just going to be a really nice day to be outside. Go for a walk or run, take the dog for a walk, go to Blink, the final night of Blink. The zoo, Kings Island, all have Halloween festivals as well. So let's get into it. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Another warm day today, another sunny and dry day. We start the week with similar conditions, but then we do see some changes by the middle to the end of the week. So on that 7-day forecast, you'll see those big changes. So, okay. Thank you everybody for watching. It lists the names, but I don't want to butcher names. I could rattle off and say, hi, Joe and Jim and Bob. But anyways, I won't do that. Anyways, outside right now, we're seeing lots of sunshine. If you were with us earlier this morning, we had some really thick fog along the Ohio River, but it lifted very quickly. I would say within 10, 15 minutes at the most, it was already lifted. But on our tower camera, you could still see it because, of course, the tower camera is much higher up in the air. But beautiful clear skies all across the region right now. Going to be a sunny day. Open up the blinds, let the warm sunshine into the home because it's going to, take care of the heating at least to a certain extent for you, depending upon what temperature you like it to be. But yes, it's going to be a really nice day. My house has a lot of natural light, so I love days like today, opening up the blinds and letting it in. Doesn't make it great for napping, but it's worth it. Locally, nothing going on satellite or radars. We widen the view, it's much of the same. By the way, earlier today, I just mentioned this because I see Toronto showing up there. By earlier today, I mean actually happening right now. They had the Toronto Marathon, and I was watching a live stream on YouTube between weather hits, and they had great weather up there for it. So obviously a little chilly, but that's good weather when you're out there for several hours doing that half marathon or marathon. We do have some rain in kind of the Four Corners region. We have a little bit of rain in Florida and Texas. Otherwise, I mean, just pretty quiet and dry weather across much of the country. So let's talk about Hurricane Oscar. So as I mentioned, Nadine has now kind of fizzled out, but Nadine is in southern Mexico. Oscar, and let's see what the latest is that they're saying. Let's look at discussion. Okay. It nears landfall near the coast of Cuba. It says its next landfall, so it's already made landfall in the Atlantic Ocean. So, key messages. Hurricane warning for the southeastern Bahamas, a portion of northeastern coast of Cuba. Oscar is expected to produce dangerous storm surge on portions of the Bahamas this morning. And then Cuba later this afternoon and evening. And then it expands into, let's see, the Sierra Maestra. I should probably know how to say that. And then into the Bahamas through Wednesday. So basically the Bahamas and Cuba kind of seeing the main impacts. They mentioned Turks and Caicos in an earlier discussion. I think I have crumbs on me. So yes, tropical storm warnings, watches, hurricane warnings, all have been issued for parts of Bahamas, Cuba. So yeah. But this is the track. So basically it is a Category 1 storm right now with winds of 80 miles per hour. This actually hasn't changed very much from the last advisory, which was earlier this morning. But so it makes this turn kind of still to the west or southwest, and then it curves. I was saying earlier about 180 degrees. I guess it's not really 180 degrees, maybe more like 150 degrees or something, but it does make this pretty sharp turn out to sea. Now, could have some very minimal impacts just on the surf in parts of Florida. I don't expect it to have a big impact, though. That's one of those things where when I was at the beach earlier in the summer, there was a storm way out to sea. I mean, hundreds of miles out to sea, but it was impacting what was happening at the beach. So that's the kind of thing I mean. So no direct impacts, though, felt from Oscar in the contiguous U.S. Puerto Rico did have an impact several days ago. You can see San Juan barely there on the screen. But yeah, so that's all that's going on in the tropics right now. So nothing that's going to impact us here in the contiguous U.S. anytime soon. There's not even a storm out there that they're watching. You know how oftentimes we show you, like when there's I can show you the graphic. Yeah, so oftentimes in the Eastern Atlantic, there'll be a couple of things that they're monitoring. But here in the next 2 to 7 days, there is nothing that's expected to form into any kind of storms again, all the way through the Atlantic Ocean. So that's good news there. Just got to watch Oscar in parts of Cuba and the Bahamas. Again, we could use the rain around here. We could use a good soaking like we had from Helene. Maybe not quite that. We don't need that much rain, but drought monitor shows abnormally dry for about half of the viewing area, and no real surprise there. We, of course, have been dry for a while. So far this month, we are more than an inch below where we should be. So, yeah, another kind of dry month. We've really only had, I think, like 2 days of precipitation at all the entire month. And, of course, the first day of the month was when we had our largest rainfall. So pulling this up just because I looked at it yesterday. I don't think I looked at the totals today as far as like how far below normal we are. We've had 3 days of measurable rainfall. We're about 1.7 inches below normal. So really getting close to 2 inches below normal for this month. Beautiful weather outside right now. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, warming up nicely thanks to that sunshine. We started off the day with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. So we're already at 50 in Harrison, 62 at CVG, 61 in Falmouth, Lunken at 55, Hamilton and Lebanon at 57 degrees. Here at CVG, just giving you kind of more details there. We do have temperatures in the low 60s and light winds, so it is a really kind of pleasant day. The air is pretty dry, relatively dry, I should say, and yeah, it's a nice day. Just get outside and enjoy it if you can. Rachel asked about severe weather. Not a chance anytime soon. Not a chance, even for thunderstorms, until maybe a week from today, and even then, it doesn't look promising. Okay, let me see if, because we saw the fog this morning, let's see if there's a chance for fog. Tomorrow morning as you wake up and get back to the grind. Hopefully this goes out to tomorrow morning. Well, it's either not updating or there's no chance for fog. It could just be, yeah, that we're not going to see any kind of fog possible. I was trying to look for the today forecast. Here we go. So a normal high for this time of year is 65. We're going to make it up to 74 today, even a little bit warmer than the 72 degrees that we had yesterday. So really a very nice day to enjoy those outdoor activities. Obviously, if you're going to Cleveland, you're already there. If not, you're not going to make it in time if you haven't left yet. Maybe you'll make it there for the end of the game. But weather up there, this is the weather in Cleveland, looks great. Temperatures in the 60s right now, climbing up to 70 degrees by halftime. Of course, 1 o'clock kickoff, so here in the next couple of hours. and very similar conditions expected here. So if you're going to be out and about, maybe going to somewhere to watch the game and you're watching it outside on a patio, somebody's backyard, whatever it may be, I think it's going to be really nice weather for that. Not only do we have that happening today, of course I know it's an away game, but people will be watching it around here. I have no doubt about it. And then later this evening, you can head out to Blink. Last night for Blink. So it starts at 7, but I think things really become, I don't know, better viewing. Sunset's right around 7. I think it gets better about 7:20 to 7:30, and then it continues until 11 p.m. The drone show there that happens in Covington, but you can see it on both sides of the river, is at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. nightly. So tonight's the last night. Again, what an amazing event. It's my favorite, like, especially free event that we have here in Cincinnati. And, you know, I think also the fact that it only happens every couple of years makes it that much more like alluring, because you can't go to it all the time. I think that's another reason why opening day is such a big deal. It only happens once a year. So anyways, I love Blink. Can't get enough of it. I'll be going back down again tonight as well. There's a couple areas I haven't been able to see yet, and there's a couple areas I've seen like several times. So going to kind of branch out today. I'm really excited about it. But temperatures will be in the 50s by 9 o'clock, 51 at 11 when it does wrap up. So warmer than probably any night we've had so far. I remember Thursday night, opening night, it was pretty chilly out there. So yeah, much better weather today. This is going to show you any kind of rain chances. What happens Tuesday into Wednesday is that we actually do see a system move through, a very weak front move through, and try to bring us the chance for rain. We've had rain in the forecast. We've taken it out. We put it back in. I think a sprinkle at best, but I do think that most of us stay dry. And then let me go back here. Another thing that we've been looking at is Thursday. If there's let me go back here. Not Thursday, Friday. If there's a chance for rain on Friday, that also looks like it's not going to make it here either. It's going to dissipate before it does. However, despite the fact that that disturbance doesn't bring us rain or brings us very little rain, it still is going to change kind of our pattern that we have. Temperatures will cool off. We'll see breezy winds by the middle of the week as well. And then next weekend, maybe we see a more promising chance for rain, maybe Sunday into Monday. Again, that would be next week, but doesn't look like anything significant anytime soon. I wanted to go to, here we go. Hopefully this goes out far enough. The breezy winds that we expect here in the middle of the week. Wednesday especially, 20, 25 miles per hour. So it's not terrible. Let's go back to there where it kind of peaks here. Yeah, 25 to 30 miles per hour Wednesday evening. But, you know, again, nothing major, but just going to be breezy on Wednesday as that system moves through and then drops our temperatures pretty significantly. Temperatures will drop. You can see that here reflected on the 7-day forecast. Let's pop this up full. So today, 74. Tomorrow, we will be even warmer. Tuesday, even warmer. Tuesday, we get close to 80 degrees with temperatures in the upper 70s. It is warm. It is dry. And we see those breezy winds on Wednesday, and then we drop the temperatures. So Wednesday, we go from 78 to 63 on Thursday, 68 Friday, and 70 degrees next Saturday. So very warm weather, hardly any chance for rain. Again, there's a chance for a sprinkle Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's about it. And then as we look beyond the 7-day forecast, it does look like overall this pattern continues with highs in the 60s and 70s, lows in the 40s and 50s, hardly any rain, even as we enter the beginning of November. So the dry weather looks to persist, at least for now. That's the way it looks. I don't see any major changes anytime soon. It looks like this pattern does continue. They have released some of those more long-term outlooks. Geez, do I not even have where's the temperature map? And yeah, it looks like this pattern continues for a while. Okay, let me see. Any questions? I answered Rachel's question. Hardly a chance for rain, let alone severe weather. So no chances for severe storms at this time. As a matter of fact, I even looked at like the entire country with the chances for severe storms, and it's very limited. Yeah, everything just kind of fizzles out before it gets here. So if you don't like storms, that's good. You know, this time of year, now that we've reached the end of the growing season, by the way, the National Weather Service says there will be no more frost advisories, freeze warnings, anything like that, even if it hasn't dropped below freezing in your area, because the reason they issue those is because it signals the end of the growing season, and they say that we've reached that. So now that it's the end of the growing season, or at least for most of us, I know you might have your own garden, you might have your own flowers, that's totally different, but for, you know, on the larger scale, it's the end of the growing season. So we don't need a lot of rain, but we could use, of course, some wet weather. It helps with some of the allergies kind of flying around in the air, makes the ground not quite as dry, and it sets you up for a better spring too, of course, now that we're getting into those colder months. We want the moisture to help us for in the future. So, okay, let's see. Believe that I've answered all the questions. I would love to watch some football, get outside today, go to Blink. Those are the plans. They're going to be fun. A Sunday fun day. That's the plan. So this upcoming week, I guess for most of the week, I think Friday we have like funky schedules, but for most of the week we actually have a normal schedule, which means that I will be on here tomorrow for 19 at noon. So yeah, so that's the next time that I'll see you. Of course, you can catch Ethan Emery this evening. He'll have your streaming show at 6 o'clock. Anywhere that you stream. I actually checked to make sure that we are streaming everywhere, because again, that's another thing that when they did these upgrades yesterday, we just want to make sure everything's working. And on my end, it looks like everything is, but I have no idea what Carol is asking. Are you talking about the I actually don't know what you're talking about. Or are you talking about me? Gosh, I hope you aren't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about all that I have for you guys. Hopefully everybody has a great Sunday and upcoming work week too. And yeah, the weather looks absolutely fantastic for any of those outdoor activities. I know some of the sports are winding down. Of course, high school football continuing, but some other seasons kind of winding down. So it should be great weather for some of those final games or meets if it's cross country, whatever it may be. All right, I'm going to sign off here. And yeah, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow.